It's a warm one today.
Oh, yeah. This makes the best.
Okay, that's got to stop. You're going to, like, knock over all the bleachers. You sure? All right. Good afternoon. Good morning, wherever you're at. Welcome, but between the blue lines, and as you can see, I'm just in there. That's a Zamboni door. You don't want to open that. All the way down there. And this is Frank the Announcer coming to you live out in beautiful, warm Louisville, Kentucky. Wait till later. You might get Frank between the barrels. Just saying. Once again, I am a dad. I am a fan. I do get excited. If I miss something, I apologize now. But, yeah. That's my disclaimer, and I'm sticking to it. It does look a little foggy. It is just that darn cold. I think the glass is frozen. Your North Stars are taking on New Trier. It is flipping cold in here. Oh, do we want a live mic, Grampy? There was a hidden agenda to bringing Bauer. It was Mom's extra heater. All right, we got 15 minutes on the clock. Teams are getting ready to head to their benches. I am trying to give you the best vantage point as possible, and I don't have much to work with. Get you a little more elevated here, so Stars break their huddle, make their way over to the bench. All right, who do we got coming out? We got Anthony, we got Stanley, Patrick, James, and can't make out the other defender. Or Anthony makes his way to the dot. Wins it back towards James. James has a difficult time at the blue line, but ends up getting a pass up to Stanley. Stanley fights it. Anthony carries it across, takes a shot on net. Patrick lays some lumber. Up top towards James, who keeps it in, puts it good through the slot. Picked up by, whoa, Stanley gets knocked off the puck. Nutrier on the rush. Nutrier crosses the blue line, takes a shot from the slot. Sends a dribbler in. Scores at 14-25 in the first. Brought in. Goalie reaches down. Whoop. Covers it up. Tied up to the far side wall. Tapped around. Nutrier on the rush. Crossing the blue line. Kept down low. Kept away. Rebound. Given up. Nutrier getting on the board again. 14:03 in the first. Carrying it across the blue line. Charlie swatting away at it. Andrew Poke checks it. Up to the blue line. Up through the slot. Top of the circle. Shot on Stoge. Blocks that one. Kick saves the second one. Over to the far side wall. Picked up by Charlie. I think glass is really fogged up. Nope, that was Charlie sending it in down low. Picked up in the far side corner. Up towards the blue line. Declan keeps it down. Nutrier kicks it out. Angie grabs it at the top of the circle, kicks it away. Declan picks up the loose puck. Trying to get a pass off, taken away by Nutrier. In the near side corner. Back around. Up the far side wall to Stanley. Stanley bounces it off the wall, sends it all the way down. I got a referee's arm up. I got icing. I need to clean this glass. Anthony at the dot. Ends up going back behind Stoge. James picks it up. Gets past the referee. Gets it over to Patrick. Patrick goes behind the back over to Anthony. Anthony rushing through. Gets it over to Max. Shot on the near side. A little bit far outside the crease there. Kept in the zone. Patrick trying to battle for it up through the slot. James is going to go over the near side wall. Puts it down. It was off his stick. Grabbed up by Anthony. Max smacking away at it. Ends up going over to the far side corner. Nutrier pushes it up out of the zone. Back down behind Stoge it goes. James battling for it. Gets it up towards Patrick. Patrick goes off the glass. Anthony knocks it out of midair. Picks the puck back up. Lost the handle of it. Ends up kicking it across. Goes over to the far side wall. James, top of the slot. Ooh, just going wide. Off the glass and out of the, nope, not out of the zone. James keeps it in. Try to get a pass over towards Patrick. Up the near side wall. Through the middle. Center ice. Busting it off. Can't get through traffic. Picked back up to the point. Shot goes down low. Kicked away there by James. Liv smacks it up to the blue line. New Trier sends it right back down towards Stoge. James picks it up. James outlet pass. Hits Charlie on the far side. Nope, that was Aiden. Aiden trying to get a pass over to Charlie on the near side. In the corner, through the slot. Ooh, taken away by New Trier. Kicked away. End up being controlled by New Trier as they cross the blue line. Lost the handle of it. Good back check there by Charlie. Up the far side wall, back down low into the corner. Up towards Aiden at the top of the circle, trying to get a pass off towards Charlie. Taken away by New Trier. Sent in down deep behind Stoge. Andrew sends it around. Gets it up towards the hash marks, taken away by New Trier. Top of the circle shot, kick saved by Stoge. Goes over to the far side hash marks. Back behind the net. Too hot to handle, comes over to the near side corner. Back up top to the point, back down low. Kicked away there by Dom. In front of Stoge. Kick save. Liv batted it back down towards him, and he covers it up. Stopping the clock at 10:01. Near side face-off. Looks like we got Anthony at the dot. I'm just going off by school logos. New Trier gains control. Keeps it up to the blue line. Sends it in down deep. Over to the near side corner is going to come. James going up against the lumberjack from New Trier. Battle in the corner. Ends up going back behind Stoge. Picked up by person to be named later. Bouncing puck all the way down. No ice being called. Patrick's on his horse trying to get down there. Picked up in the far side corner by New Trier. Coming around the near side wall. Back through traffic. Gets a pass off through center ice. Sends it in deep into the near side corner. James is going to pick it up behind Stoge. Sends it around. Got a whistle. Looks like Patrick's going to the sin bin for a hooking. So at 9:10, your North Stars go down a player. Excuse me, it is darn cold. Sean at the dot. Comes over to the near side wall. Back up to the point. Back down low to the hash marks. Over to the far side hash marks. Down low. Back up to the hash marks. Top of the circle. Stoge with a blocker save. Goes over to the corner. Picks up. Up towards the blue line. Not all the way out. Charlie swats it away, clears the puck, goes all the way down. North Stars get a line change. Stopped at the blue line there by Jacqueline. Ends up going down low. James puts him into the wall, loose puck. Up to the blue line and out of the zone. Nice play by Andrew. Down low, behind the goal line, all the way around. Sends the pass through the crease. Back behind the net, over to the far side corner. Dropped back down low. Got 10 seconds left on the PK. New Trier has to pull out and come back into the center ice. Ends up dumping it in down low. Penalties now over. Back to 5-on-5 action. Kept in at the blue line by Nutrier. Goes through the slot. Kick saved by Stoge. Gets it over towards James, who sends it up the near side wall. Kept in by Nutrier. Down into the corner. Back to behind is Andrew. Andrew bounces it off the boards. Centering pass, a bit off the mark. Picked up by Max on that far side hash marks. He dances around, gets a pass off to Declan. Declan trying to thread the needle. Taken away by Nutrier. Andrew with the puck. His pass gets deflected, but up towards the blue line. Kept in. Nope. Nutrier pulls back. Nutrier blows a tire along this near side wall. James sends it up the boards. Nutrier retreats into their own zone. Shot on net there by Aiden. Anybody know who 79 is? Andre? Getting clarification on players. Puck goes back behind the goal line. Nutrier sends it up the near side wall. Andre battling in the near side corner. Gets it up to the hash marks. Nutrier keeps it. Loose puck, bottom of the circle. Good check there by Anthony. Picked up by Andre. Back into the corner and all the way over to the far side. Liv's going to pick it up. Nope. She lets Nutrier grab it and send it back behind the net. Off the boards towards Patrick, who tips it out in the center ice. Grabbed up by Nutrier. Nutrier goes off the boards and back behind the net over to the far side hash marks. Into the corner. Broken up. Off the boards. Takes a nice right along the rail. In the near side corner. Dancing around on the top of the circle. Shot goes just wide. Swatted away there by Liv. Tip shot goes behind Stoge all the way around again. Stanley trying to move in the movable object. In the slot. In the back of the net. At 5:20. Got Sean and Dominic. No, Charlie. Puck goes into the player's bench, actually in the sin bin. Nutrier with the puck. Goes off the ceiling. Stoppage of play again. Back into the corner, around the horn. Oop, wrong sport. Stopped at the blue line there by James. Sean trying to smack it away. Charlie was able to swat that one down. James picks up the loose puck, try to get it up towards the blue line, but Nutrier was all over that. Declan at center ice, gets a pass over to Sean. Sean taps it in, over to the near side corner. Nutrier picks it up. Charlie trying to center up the pass. Aiden keeps it in the zone. Nutrier comes back through center ice. Swatted away there by Aiden. Up to the top of the circle. Picked up by James. James trying to get through traffic. Sends it off Sean's stick. Picked up by Nutrier. Nutrier gets it across the blue line. Kicked out by Charlie. Sean picks up the loose puck, rushes in. Whoop, swing and a miss. Back over to Sean in the near side corner. Shot there by James. Goalie catches it. Got Andrew, Andre, Aiden, Dominic, and Max. Max with the puck back behind the net. Tried to center that one up to Aiden, but got taken away by New Trier as they come through center ice. Swatted away there by Andre. Almost an offsides there. Top of the circle, back behind the net. Ends up going over to the far side hash, off the boards, up towards Max. Max carries it up across the center ice. Across the blue line, lost it in traffic. Ends up coming up near side. Andrew gets a pass over to Andre. Andre stops, turns around, delivers a pizza up to New Trier, but they didn't take any pieces. High stick. Nope. Waved off. Sent in deep. Aiden chases after it. Up around the near side wall. Andrew stops it. Puts it down net. Or down on net. Blocked away. Picked up by Andre. Andre goes off the boards. Stopped at center ice by Max. Picked up by Andrew. Andrew puts it in down deep behind the net. Bounces up through the slot, picked up by New Trier, off the boards and up the far side wall. Stanley stops the rush. Good poke check there by James. Dominic picks up the loose puck. Dominic gets it up over towards Patrick. Patrick tips it in. Grabbed up by New Trier. New Trier ends up going up that far side wall, back through center ice. Sent in across the bow of Ben. Stopped by James on the near side hash marks. Up to the top of the slot. Kicked away. Pushed up to the blue line and out of the zone finally by Stanley. New Trier regroups. Back behind the net. Up the near side, back to the far side again. Swatted away. Kicked out of the zone. Loose puck at the blue line. Grabbed up by New Trier, and they send it in deep. Goes over to the far side hash marks. Picked up by Liv. Saucers one over towards Patrick. Patrick taps it in down low. Carried it down to the hash marks. Still with it back behind the net. Put it through the slot, taken away by New Trier. New Trier sends it up through center ice. Gathered up by Patrick, trying to dust it off. Lost the handle of it as it goes over to the far side wall. A couple of bodies getting pressed up by Canham against that far side wall. Comes back deep to Aiden. Aiden goes into the sin bin and out of play. Got Declan, Sean, and Charlie, I think. It's hard to see through this glass. I apologize, people. It is Charlie. Puck comes back. Aiden's going to grab it, top of the circle, going back behind Stoge. Gets a pass over towards Sean. Sean leaves it for Declan. Declan puts it back up towards Sean. Sean picks it up, crosses the blue line with it. Pushes it in down deep. Goes back after it. behind the goal line. Swatted back over to Sean at the near side hash marks, trying to get a centering pass off. Gets blocked away by Nutrier. Back over to Charlie at the top of the slot. Puts a shot down. Blocker save. And into the glove and stops the clock at how are we back to 12 minutes?
12 seconds. 12 seconds.
Oh, that's 12 seconds? Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Coming all the way back. It dies just before Aiden gets back there. Shot goes wide. And that is the end of your first. I think we're going for an ice cut. Because they're cutting ice every 2 periods. So we are going for an ice cut. We will be back in about 10 minutes or so. Every 2 periods. All right. North Stars in their black jerseys. New Trier in their white. North Stars going left to right this period. North Stars trail 3-0 going into the second period. Anthony putting the net out in place, waiting for the referees now. And then you came back in here. Still waiting for the referees to make their appearance for the remainder of this game. Really don't need them for much other than to drop the puck.
We were at a rink not too long ago. No one sat down because it was so cold. Everyone just stood.
All right, here come the Zebras. Getting the cheer from the players.
This is a pink one, like a fur muff.
Zip up your coat. All right, coming back to action. Got Declan at the dot. Charlie near side. Aiden and James. I think that's Sean. Puck ends up coming over to the near side. Charlie just missed it on the near side wall. Helping Declan out. New Trier comes back. Rushing through, swatted away over to the near side corner. Aiden puts it up the wall. Picked up by Declan. Outlet pass gets taken away by New Trier. James grabs it in the top of the slot. Gets a pass over towards Declan. Offsides being whistled. Anthony at the dot. I'm sure he wins this one back. Sends it up the wall, taken away there by Stanley. Crosses the blue line. Top of the circle. Off the boards. Trier putting it up. Aiden kicks it away. Trier grabs it back on their side of center ice. Pushed up to the blue line. Just past James's reach, and he goes into the corner. Back behind the net, sends it up towards Patrick. Gets it over to Anthony. Anthony back to Patrick. Patrick goes off a boot. Loose puck at center ice, grabbed up by Anthony, who sends it in down deep. Back behind the net and over to the far side corner. Stanley going up against an immovable object back there. Patrick gets pushed up into the boards. Up along the far side wall. Swatted away by Aiden. Aiden goes off a stick and kept along the far side board. Bounces it off the wall to Patrick. Patrick dumps it into the zone. Nuchure pushes it out. Grabbed up by Aiden again. Goes off the boards. Dominic got pressured and ends up going back behind the net for Aiden. Aiden goes off the boards, picks it back up again. Gets it up towards Patrick. Patrick ends up centered it in down low, back behind the net, picked up by the goalie, stopped by the goalie, up to the near side hash marks. Just out of the zone. Liv gets it over towards Aiden, Andrew. Andrew chasing back, stops it, swatted away at the blue line, carried back into the zone, but sent right back out. No ice being called as the puck goes over to the far side corner, back behind the net, up the near side hash marks. Stopped there by Dominic. Max battles for it. Dominic back behind the net, tried the goal line shot, centering it up. Oh, just out of Liv's reach. Aiden Andrews got to go back and pick it up. Sends it high up off the glass and out of the zone. Picked back up by Nuchure coming in through the slot. Swatted away. Goes over to the far side wall. Top of the slot. Goes down low. Ben's going to use his pads and stop the shot. Covers it up. Stopping the clock at 12:06. Oh my God, it is so freaking cold in here. I hope everybody watching this game is nice and warm and comfortable because I'm feeling the pressure here. Declan, I believe, at the dot. Comes up the near side wall. Top of the circle through the slot. Ben block saves that one. Ends up going to the protective netting back behind him. Got Declan, Sean, trying to see numbers. Very difficult through the glass. James with the puck back behind the net. Lost the handle of it. Picks it back up. Gets it over towards Sean. Sean gets it over to Declan. Tied up at the blue line. Nuchure sends it back up through center ice. Kicked away by Sean. Picked up by Charlie. Gets it up towards Declan. Declan carries it across the blue line. Picked back up by Sean. Top of the circle. Drops it for James. James sends it back down towards Sean. James with it, trying to go through the slot, taken away by Nuchure, down low. Sean goes near side of the net. Centering pass, nobody home. Puck comes all the way back. Andrew's going to pick it up at the blue line. Pushing it up forward, goes around James. Nuchure swats that one right out of midair. Going through the slot into the far side corner. Picked up by Declan, pushes it up to the blue line. Nuchure can't handle it. Sean picks up the loose puck. Sean crosses the blue line with it. Got Charlie. Charlie saves it over towards Andrew. Loose puck through the slot. Ends up coming over the near side corner off the glass. Just around Declan. Declan gets run over. Nuchure trying to go through. Good back check there by Sean. Declan takes another hit in the center slot. And draws the penalty. All right, so your North Stars are going on the power play here at 10:34. See if we can take advantage of it. I see Patrick, Anthony, James, Stanley, and who's going to be my fourth? We need one more. Liv makes her way out. Comes back to Stanley. Stanley takes a shot. Went through traffic. Liv's hustling back. Blows a tire. Picks it back up from her knees. Gets it over towards Stanley. Picked up in the slot. Off the board, or off some pads. Picked up by Anthony. Anthony gets it up towards Stanley. Or no, that was Stanley to Anthony. Back over to Stanley. Stanley goes over to the far side corner. Back up to James at the top of the circle. Spins around, keeps it in. Sends it back down low. Comes back around the net. Over to the near side corner. Sends up top. Liv keeps it in. Sends it back down. Just out of Patrick's reach, but back up to the far side wall. James keeps it in at the blue line. New Trier sends it into the player's bench and out. Got 43 seconds left on the power play. Anthony makes his way up to the dot. Stanley far side. Patrick near side. Comes over to Patrick. Patrick gets tied up, picks the puck back up, puts a shot on net, goes off the pads, up towards the top. Liv keeps it in, kicks it down to herself, puts it through the slot, or a circle. Ends up going all the way down towards Big Ben. Sends it off the boards. Anthony with the puck. Got 17 seconds left. Anthony drops it for Liv. Bounced around, controlled up by New Trier. They go across the blue line with it. Up into the far side corner. James trying to get a hold of the puck. We're back to 5-on-5. Picked up by James. Trying to go through some traffic. Gets a pass up towards Patrick. Carries it across the blue line. Patrick goes up against the boards. New Trier grabs the loose puck. North Star's caught on a line change. Good block there by James. Puck goes into the protected netting back behind Big Ben. Max with the puck, crossing the blue line, puts it across the bow of the goalie over to the far side corner. Aiden stops the rush out. Andre stops it back behind the net. New Trier pushes it up to the near side hash marks. Sends a pass all the way down. Got an icing call. Thanks for the assistance by the fans. All right, we got Dominic at the dot. New Trier wins this one back around. Got Dominic, Andre, Aiden. Holy cow, that's a tongue twister. Comes over to the near side. New Trier pushes it out and through center ice. Stopped at the blue line. Shot goes across the bow. Big Ben. Kicked out to the blue line. Grabbed up there by Andrew. Lost the handle of it. Off the stick. Kicked out of the zone by Aiden. Delayed offsides being called. Picked up by Aiden. Aiden sends it off the boards towards Andre. Puck ends up coming back to the goal line for New Trier. 7:35 left. New Trier on the rush coming out. Andre ties him up. Loose puck. Grabbed up by Aiden off the boards towards Andre. Andre drops it for Dom. Dom lines up, takes a shot, goes just a little bit wide. Up along that far side wall. Kept in. Got a slashing penalty coming up on North Stars. Aiden Jall going into the penalty box. For a slash. So at 7:14, North Stars go down a player. Got James, Sean, Charlie, Liv out there with Big Ben in the net. Goes back to James. James sends it around the wall towards Sean. Sean taps it away and gets it into center ice. New Trier stops it. Ends up retreating a little bit here and it's through center. Comes back to their own side. lost the handle of that one. Decides to pull it up and go through the blue line. Down behind the net. Cycling it around. Sean kicks it out of the zone, pushing it out. Grabbed up by New Trier. New Trier goes back behind their net, yelling, set it up. Goes off the referee, back into New Trier. New Trier lost the handle of it, picked up by Sean. Sean's going to try to swing away at it, kept in. Goes over to the backside. James lifted the stick. Off that far near side post. Looks like the net came off its mounts. The referees stop and blow the whistle. Going to give your North Stars a chance to get some fresh legs out there. We got 34 seconds left to go on the PK. Got Andrew, Stanley, Anthony, and James. Puck goes over the far side wall. James sends it up the wall, but stopped by New Trier. Anthony putting some pressure. Down behind the net. Goes through the slot, up to the top of the blue line. Big block there by James. James can carry it up to the blue line. Lofts one in on net. Goalie's got to catch that one. Ends up dropping it. 10 seconds left on the PK. New Trier coming through their own zone. Up through center ice. All the way down low. James blows a tire, but is able to swat the puck away. Off the boards, top of the blue line. Excuse me. Patrick trying to pick the puck up at center ice. New Trier is able to grab it. Good hit there by Stanley. Anthony picks up the loose puck. Carries it to the top of the circle. Puts a backhander on the net. Goalie reaches down, covers it up. 5:23 on your clock. Second period. Dominic makes his way to the dot with Andre, Max, Aiden, and James. Max trying to get it over towards James. He grabs the puck, sends it off down through the far side hash, centering pass up by Andre. Dominic takes that one away to the top of the circle, but New Trier was right there on top of it. Big battle. Dominic with the puck, trying to center it up. Got tied up, gets it over towards Max. James rifles a shot, goes off of a player. He's going to feel that one later. Puck comes back. Shot goes airmailed just wide, all the way out and down. Back into the New Trier zone. Going through center ice. Taken away there by Dom. Max taps it back over. Andre picks it up, carries it over to the far side dot. Trying to center it up as he gets pressed up like canned ham. Up to the blue line. James keeps it in, but New Trier was right there to grab that tap away. Max battling. Nope, that was Dom battling. Picked up by James. James stops, pulls up, puts a shot just wide of the net. Grabbed up by Andre on the far side wall. Back behind the net is going to go. Up along the near side. Stopped at the hash marks by New Trier. They decide to go back behind their net. 3:56 to go. Up to the far side wall. Up to the blue line. Good swat there by Aiden. Stops the rush. Backside pass broken up there by James. James picks up the puck, sends it over the near side wall. Picked up by New Trier. New Trier trying to dump it in, but Max was right there. Grabs the puck. Crosses the blue line. Holds it at the blue line. Ends up dropping it in down low. Picked up by New Trier. Coming along through the slot. Pushing it forward to the blue line. Just around Andrew. Liv's going to pick it up. Send it off the wall towards Sean. Stopped at the blue line by New Trier. Liv grabs it at the near side hash mark. Sends it around. Picked up by New Trier. Takes a shot. Goes off that near side post. Up the far side wall. Charlie sends it back behind the net. Picked up by New Trier. Big Ben puts a stick out, blocks the centering pass. Charlie shovels it up towards Sean. Sean carries it across the blue line. Charlie was right there. Loose puck comes through, grabbed up by Declan. Charlie centers it up towards Sean. Sean trying to take a shot. Oh, he got his pocket picked. Charlie grabs the puck, puts it across the bow, ends up going over to the far side blue line. Liv just missed. New Trier carries it across. Liv taps it up, grabbed up by New Trier at center ice. Back behind the net and over to the far side hash marks. Actually stopped at the corner by Andrew. Off of Charlie's backside, picked up by Andrew. Andrew lost it, going through traffic. Offsides being called. Well, delayed offsides. Liv picks up the puck, trying to get a pass up towards Charlie, but just a little bit out of the reach. And New Trier back into their own zone. Puck goes back down deep. Andrew's going to go into the corner, pick it up. Get a pass off to Declan. He sends it off the boards to himself. Sean picks up the puck on the far side circle, trying to get it out. Ben's going to reach down, cover it up, stop the clock here at 1:33. Anthony at the dot, ties him up, ends up going into the corner, picked up by New Trier. James shovels it around the boards over to the near side hash marks, swatted away by Patrick. Big battle on the near side half board. Through the slot, broken up, shot goes wide. Aiden sends it off the boards. Stopped at the top of the circle. Big Ben takes that one off the shoulder, drops down, covers it up. We got 1:08 left here to go in the second period. James sends it off the boards, picked up by Stanley. Stanley gets up to the blue line. He's got Patrick going through the slot. Shot gets tipped. Patrick picks it up back behind the net. Patrick gets tied up. Anthony goes into the half boards. Anthony picks up the puck, top of the slot, puts a shot on net, just off the shoulder and off the glass. Picked up by Stanley. Stanley puts it through the middle. Oh! On the rush. Lofted up. Ben kick saves it. Goes into the corner. I believe Patrick's going to the box.
They shot it and saved it.
And for roughing. Patrick's going to the box for roughing. All right, so with 27.96 seconds left to go in the second period, North Stars going down on the PK. I believe that's Anthony. Nope, that's Declan at the dot. Gets it up. New Trier playing tic-tac-toe along the blue line. Shot couldn't quite get through traffic. Finally does. Big Ben drops down, covers it up. James trying to come away with the puck. Ends up coming all the way down into New Trier's zone. Goalie stops it. 10 seconds to go. Stanley battles. Or no, that was Declan. Charlie trying to help out. New Trier goes back around. And that is the end of your second period. Scoreless in that one. We got 102 left on the penalty by Patrick. Got Anthony, Stanley, Andrew, and James out there. Numb comes back to James at the blue line. James sends it off of a player, picked up by Anthony. He goes off the boards, picks it back up, gets it over to the blue, across the blue line. Stanley keeps this one in. Back behind the net, picked up by Anthony. Centering pass, broken up by a melee of New Trier players. Stanley goes down to one knee, picks up the puck back. Centering pass to Anthony, top of the slot. Shot goes off a shin and over to the far side corner. Back behind the net, New Trier trying to set something up. Stopped at the blue line. We got 27 seconds left on the PK. New Trier stops, pulls up, top of the circle. Puck gets tipped, goes high up, bouncing in, kept in at the blue line. Down low to the near side dot, back up to the near side circle. Swatting away by Stanley. Carried down to the dot. Bottom of the circle. Over the far side of Ben. Kick save. Picked up by Andrew. Andrew lost it all the way down. Takes a funky bounce. Almost on net. Back to 5-on-5. Through the middle. All the way down. Got an arm up. I got icing. .38 left here in the third. North Stars trail by 3. Got Dom coming to the dot. Andre, Max, Liv, James. Up the near side boards. Stopped, brought down low. Just out of Dom's reach. James is going to come back, pick it up. Got one on hard. Picked up by Andre. Andre's going to go across the blue line with it. Tried to get a shot off, but gets deflected and goes on to the corner. Trailing it up. Trying to help out was Dom. Andre picks it back up. James takes a shot. Gets tipped back behind the net. Picked up by Dom. Dom centers it up to James. James through traffic. Back up to James at the blue line. James' shot gets tipped, goes up high, picks it back up, gets it over to Liv. Liv takes it in, puts a shot on net off of a stick. Kept in by Max. James' shot goes off a shin pad and stopped at the blue line. New Trier finally kicks it back out in the center ice, but didn't get very far. Max is going to pick it back up, gets it over towards Andre. Andre walks it in, takes a shot. Stopped by the North Star, or by the New Trier's goalie. That was the best lineup that I've seen so far this game. That was great pressure there. Got Declan, Sean, and Charlie, Liv, and James. Big Ben in net. Puck goes over the near side wall, gathered up by Sean. Trying dusts it off around one, puts a backhand pass over to Declan. Declan puts a shot off the near side post, back behind the net. Charlie trying to tie him up, comes away with the loose puck, trying to get it over towards Sean. Sean battles along that far side wall, keeps it around. New Trier is able to get it back into center ice. New Trier comes up forward, drops it at the top of the circle, goes around traffic, picked up by Charlie in the slot. Liv lofts it up to the blue line, kicks it out of the zone. New Trier retreats. Good pressure there by Sean. Sean smacks the puck away. Charlie trying to pick up that loose puck. Liv goes off the boards, gets it over towards Charlie, taps it through center ice. Declan carries it across the blue line. Sean helping out on the near side half boards. Got a hooking penalty coming up on New Trier. So your North Stars are going on the power play here at 11:42. Just to let you guys all know, my toes are numb, my fingers are numb. I'm frozen.
Get over it, you baby.
Anthony makes his way to the dot. Got Stanley on the near side. Patrick. New Trier comes through the middle. Puts it all the way down. Big Ben stops it. Gets it up towards Andre. Andre gets it over to Anthony. Anthony gets it over to Stanley. Stanley carries it across the blue line. Swatted away by New Trier. New Trier sends it in down deep. Goes over to the far side. James is going to go over to the far side of half board. Pick it up. Carry it across the blue line. Drops it for Anthony. Anthony kick saves it towards the middle. Swatted back into play by Andre. Trying to go through traffic. Patrick picks up the puck. His shot gets deflected and goes over the far side wall. James is going to pick it back up in center ice. James carries it across the blue line, drops it for Stanley. Stanley pushes it back down towards James. James carries it into the corner. Back behind the net, trying to center something up. New Trier going to get called for another penalty. Got a two-man advantage here for 26 seconds. Declan, Charlie, Sean, and Andre make their way out. Trying to get some fresh legs. These kids have been going pretty hard so far. Declan at the dot, gets it back to Sean. Sean goes over the top of the slot for James. James puts a shot just over the top. Andre grabs it, walks the circle, takes a shot, blocks or knocks the stick out, gets it back over to James. James back over to Andre. Andre gets back to the forehand, takes a shot, gets deflected, goes back behind the net, picks up by New Trier, comes along the near side boards. James trying to keep it in the zone, ends up coming back into center ice. James regroups. 5-on-4 now as the first penalty has expired. James carries it along the far side half boards into the corner and back behind the net, trying to center it up. Ends up getting it up towards Declan. Swatted away by New Trier and back into the North Star zone. Picked up by Andre. Andre sends it off the near side boards. New Trier sends it in on Ben. Ben kick saves it over to Andre. Andre goes off the glass and up towards Sean. Sean carries it through center ice, taken away at just outside the blue line. Andre's going to go to the sin bin for a trip. So at 9:34, we're going to play a little 4-on-4 action for 26 seconds. Four-on-4 action. Anthony makes it up to the dot. Got Stanley, James, Liv. New Trier back behind the net, over to the far side hash marks, up to the top of the slot, near side circle, back over to the far side top. Hash marks, back through the slot. New Trier sends it off the boards, picked back up, goes down low. Over to the backside. Hash marks. Kick saved by Ben. Liv goes off the boards. New Trier puts it up top. North Stars on the PK now. Big Ben with the save. Liv goes to the boards. Sends it up to the corner. Grabbed up by New Trier. Top of the slot. Walks it in. Goes just wide. Over to the far side. Hash marks. Top of the slot again. Backside. Kicked away there by Ben. And New Trier got it in. New Trier takes advantage of that. Puck goes down. Dom sends it back just out of Andrew's reach, but he goes into the corner, sends it up to the hash marks. Shot goes down, kick save, goes over to the far side, grabbed up by Aiden. Aiden goes head over heels into the boards, grabs his twig. Aiden off the boards. Picked up by New Cheer behind their goal line. Puck comes back out. Aiden's going to grab it at center ice. His pass gets deflected. New Cheer sends it in down deep. Picked up by Andrew. Deflected back towards Big Ben. Down blocks that outlet pass. Gets it over to Aiden. Aiden carries it up. Drops it in down low. Going to go for the puck in the corner. New Trier coming away with it. Stopped at the blue line. New Trier on the rush. Good back check there by Andrew. Sends him into the boards. Aiden goes off the boards over here towards Andre. Avoided a big melee. Dom carrying it in. Walking it in. Takes the shot. Goes off the pads. On the backside was Max. But that goalie just went and flew like Superman and blocked that one. 7:20 to go here in the third. Declan at the dot is Sean, Charlie, Liv, and James. New Trier back behind their net. Puck comes up that far side wall, grabbed up by Liv. She sends it over in James's direction. James picks up the puck, crosses the blue line with it, puts it down on net. Kick save back behind the net. James battling for it, picked up by Charlie. Ends up going over to the far side wall. Liv sends it in. Takes a forearm shiver from a doofus. Liv with the puck, or Liv kick saves the puck out. Sean's able to steal. Puck ends up going down deep into the far side corner, or near side corner. New Trier sending it up. Saved by Charlie. Gets it back down towards Declan. Kicks it into the corner. Back over to the far side hash marks. Up the wall. Up the boards. Charlie's keeping it down at the hash marks. Couldn't get it around Liv. Finally gets it back into center ice. Charlie with the puck. Sends it off of a boot. Into center ice. Anthony grabs it. Sends it back down. Delayed offsides. Off the near side boards, James wins the 50-50. Sends it down low. Anthony chasing after it. Lost the handle of it. Picks it back up. Backhands it down low. Kicked away by New Trier. Up the near side boards. Patrick, top of the circle, swats away at it. New Trier picks up the loose puck. Back in through center ice. Stolen away there by Stanley. Picked back up by New Trier. New Trier coming across the blue line with it. Shot goes wide of the net and over to the far side corner where James is going to put him against the boards. Back into the corner it goes. Down low. Trying to get through traffic is New Trier. Picked up by somebody. Sent it out. Difficult time on this glass. I can't read numbers. It's either that or I'm just illiterate. Puck comes up to the blue line for New Trier. Going through traffic. Ends up going over to the far side wall. Down low to Andrew. Andrew picks up the puck. .440 to go here. New Trier at the top of the circle. Shot goes airmailed across the bow. Kept in at the blue line. Back behind the net. Top of the circle shot. Stanley takes that one off the shin pads. Goes down low. Andrew chasing after it. Stops the rush. Comes up, coming back into the near side corner. Back up to the blue line. Shot. Stanley deflects that one again. Backhand save. Kept in by New Trier. Big Ben catches that one in the glove. Dominic at the dot. Aiden on the near side. Andre far side. Shot goes down. Can't get through to Ben. Face off coming out of the zone. New Trier back to their own blue line. Up the near side wall. Bounces it in. Liv picks it up behind the net. Sends it off the boards. Up towards the blue line. Out of the reach of New Trier. Picked back up by Dom. Dom chasing it in. Takes the shot. Goes off the pads. In the back of the net. No goal. Interference being called. That was horse pucky if I've ever seen it. Interference being called on Aiden. Waves off the goal. 3:38. I tell you that's horse pucky. You can go back and watch the replay on that one. Dom at the dot. Picked up by James. He's going to go back behind the net. Lofts it up and out of the zone. Grabbed up at the blue line. New Trier on the rush. Dom blocks the outlet or inlet pass. All the way up to the blue line. Back down to the hash marks. Walking it through. Backside deflected there by Dom. Puck goes off the ceiling. New Trier sends it back down behind Ben. James stops the rush up the wall. Up to the top of the point. Top of the slot. Walking it through. Kick saved by Ben. Goes over to the far side wall. Top of the slot. Shot gets deflected by Sean. Goes over to the near side wall. Near side hash marks back behind the net trying to center it up. Puck goes over far side, back behind the net. Far side hash marks. Near side dot. Shot off the shoulder of Ben and into the netting. Sean and Declan head off. Anthony and Stanley come on. James and Liv are out there still. Big Ben in net. Puck goes down. Tied up at the dot. Ends up going into the corner. James sends it up to the blue line. New Trier can't keep it in the zone, so they got to retreat back in through center ice. They lose the handle of it on the far side wall. New Trier comes away with it. Dyson through traffic. Poke check. Walking it in. Big Ben with his blocker. James lofts it up and out of the zone. Going to get it new fresh legs as we get back to 5-on-5 action. New Trier back behind the net. Sends it up the far side wall. Back into center ice. Patrick battling for it at the blue line. Ends up going down deep. Stanley pushes a nice check and pushes the kid into the boards. Into the corner. Patrick, tried to get it over towards Anthony. Lost the handle of it as he was going through the slot and trying to get a shot off. off the boards and into the zone, picked up by New Trier. They come up to their own blue line and through center ice, carry across North Star's blue, take a shot. Ben takes that off the shoulders, goes into the near side corner. Patrick gets dropped, or Andrew got dropped. James gets dropped, says goodbye to. Let me get clarification on this one. James gets dropped, waves goodbye to the New Trier player for being called for a cross check. We got 1:06 left in the game. Dom at the dot, gets it over to Max. Max over to the near side for James. James takes a shot, goes off the stick into the near side corner. Big Ben drops it for Andrew. Andrew stops, pulls up at the bottom of the circle, looks up, gets a pass over towards Max. Max is going to carry it up along that far side wall, come back in through center. Got 40 seconds left. Kicked out by New Trier. All the way down deep. Big Ben stops it for James. Big Ben causing some chaos. Outlet pass over to Max, a little bit out of the reach as New Trier grabs it. Gets it up to the blue line. Picked out by Andrew. Andre pushed some pressure on it. Wild pass gathered up by James. New Trier rifles one off the back of the net. We got 5 seconds to go here. Andrew picks up the puck. Going to go for a rush, and that is the end of your game. All right, we're back on later this evening at 6:45 local time, so 5:45 back at home. We'll see you then.
Game's over. I'm just starting to get warmed up.
Yeah. So we're gonna head back to the hotel real quick. Should we just go?